Hello crafters, this is Suzanne from Creative Muse, and this is video number 2 today. So earlier it was scrapbook.com special, new freebie, and all the goodies. Now it's time for the final review of the Nautical themed Father's Day mini album. Alrighty, let's get started. So here is the final mini album. I could have just kept on going. I worked on it last night, a little bit the night before too, just adding on more die cuts, and I did pull out my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper, the one with the deco and stub. Ended up using that a lot. That's a tool that if you're new to crafting, but right now it's pricey. So if you can find it maybe somewhere somebody is destashing and they have it, grab it, because it's a solid tool and it'll last long time. I've never come across somebody who has broken it, but I guess you could break it. Everything can break, but this is one that's super solid, heavy too, heavy metal. So I used, in this album, I actually used my Crocodile, which is also from We Are Memory Keepers. That was here with the cover. And then now the corner chomper and all these tools. These are basic tools that a lot of crafters get when they first start out. You don't have to get them, but yeah, they're nice. Especially if you're going to make mini albums and you want to add that decorative edge and you want to cut into chipboard. Both of them can cut into chipboard, heavyweight chipboard. Alrighty, so let's get into this mini album, Nautical themed. And what else did I want to say? Oh, there was a question posted about what is the measurements of my album. And I thought I had said it, but maybe I didn't. 9 inches, 7.5. Now I'm going a little over because the half compensates. It's a little over a half. Once you wrap it with the paper, it gets a little bigger. This is 9 inches by 2. That's the measurements of the album. The pages are 8.5 by 6.5, okay? And if you want to know the exact measurements, go back into the first video, which is the making the pages. We go over the pages. And then with the covers, we have to go back to the Mother's Day because time. I didn't have the time to do the covers on this one. It would have been just, I wouldn't have been ready for this week with everything going on last week. Alrighty, so let's start with the cover. So here I use the Happy Father's Day, and that is a die from Cat Scrappiness. And she has another Father's Day die. So that Father's Day die is $5.99. This one with the outline, $7.99. I know I had mentioned $5.99, but the $5.99 is for the one without the shadow. So $2 more and you get a shadow. And it's about the same size. And it comes both sets. So there'll be a Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day without the shadow, $5.99. Then there is now a new one with the shadow, $7.99 for each. It's a pretty good deal. It measures 3 by 3 3/4. I did pop it up on 3D foam squares, but I should have backed it with something more durable, seeing that the paper is so thin. But here I double matted it. So I took my only other sheet of the Ruby Slipper Basil cardstock, and then I used the same gold metallic cardstock that I showed you guys. I got this one from Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure they sell this at Hobby Lobby anymore, but I know Joann's carries it. If you want to get it there, or you can get it, I will link it below in case you don't go out shopping and you just want to order everything online and not be bothered. I don't blame you either way, because the online shopping is good. The in-store shopping used to be much more exciting pre-COVID, because we were getting 50-60% off at Michael's. I don't know what happened now. They're not even giving 40 off of one item anymore. I don't know. I haven't been there in a long time. Alrighty, so those two were for the cover. And, well, the gold is throughout. So this kind of a brushed gold. The seahorse and the anchor the Anchor, La La Land Crafts, and I'm not sure if this is still a current item. If it is, I will link it. If not, then you may have to go eBay, okay? I'm not 100% sure. I have a feeling that it may be a discontinued one. And the Seahorse was from, oh, that's a Sizzix die set. It's this one. This I'm not even sure if you can find this everywhere. This one is called Dream Mermaid, item number 662752. Comes with an embossing folder, the mermaid, the seahorse. It's in here. Come on. Just showing you all the dies in case you want to get some cute dies. I got all these things for mermaids. Now I'm using it for the Nautical. That's the seahorse right there. Super cute. Comes with a shell, the word dream, and the mermaid, and an embossing folder. Alrighty. So that's cute. I will see if I can find this. I think it's still up to date. Alrighty. And these little brads, that's from Michael's. Just Recollections brand. Of course, the paper pack is on clearance, $5.49 from Hobby Lobby, the Paper Studio. Huge 180 sheet paper pack. Loads and loads and loads of nautical fun. And 3 sheets each. So I was able to use this cover, you know, here, the spine and the back, and then also another time here within the album. I had another sheet left over, which was nice. Usually we only get 2 of each. This was 3 of each in that pack. Alrighty, so let's get into the album. Here's the front inside pocket. And I told you guys in the video, you know, when you're putting on these cover pockets, use score tape all 3 sides. And this is exactly why, because I stuffed it. This now is a little photo opportunity. I can put about 4 photographs in here, small photographs. I use that whale paper. This is a mini slimline die. The only thing I got from Dare to Be Artsy. I have the bigger one, and then Scrapbook Expo had a show, and Dare to Be Artsy was there, and they had a little discount, and so I went there and I got this. Isn't it cute? So this is the mini to the big one that I have. I have the larger one to this same set. Love it. Still loving it. Still loving all the pierced detail. Oh, so cute. It's called Slim Mini Wavy Die. So this is also a reveal and also the dies. Because I know a lot of you guys, I thought I was the only one, but a lot of you guys love dies as much as I do. So it's going to be, you know, product and also, just in case you're interested and you like this type of stuff. So this is a cute mini slimline. This, and I've shown you guys this in a haul from scrapbook.com. This is the Spellbinders Hem Stitch Slimline die set. This pierced detail. So this is one of those that you have to tape it with some purple tape, because this stitching part, these 3 part with the hem stitch, those are drop-ins. So you have to, if you want to cut it out, you have to tape the hem stitch closest to the cut line and then run the die, and then you back it with another color. Super cute though. Super cute. I used it before as well on this. I love it. I like how I can add another color in behind. This one I added navy. That one I believe I used black. So this is a cute set. In this one, this is a full die. This, I just cut the die and just made a little photo opportunity. So let me tell you what this measures. I did 7 3/8 by 3 3/4. Photo opportunity right there. Just cut 2 and use my corner rounder. My favorite corner rounder. My 3-sided. And then with this one, yes, I did use the medium. That's my most common size to use. And there you go. I open it up and I can put more photos in here. Wider too, because here I have, this is about 1 inch wider than what I have here. Right here I have the photograph, I have it as 2.5. Inside I could do it as let's say roughly 3 3/8 of an inch. That's not bad. So I could get, you know, 8 photographs or one big one, a little journaling spot, and then 2 here. All kinds of options. Mini albums give you options. Here is one of my tags. And this tag can fit a 4x6 photograph. That's from the scrapbook.com tag die set. Still loving. And I've had this for years. But I always say, you know, get it sooner than later because I don't know when they're going to stop having it on their website. You know, if it's been there for a couple of years, maybe they'll just one day not have it anymore. So something like that, if you see it and the price is decent right now, a lot of scrapbook.com stuff is on sale anyway, so that's probably on sale too. Okay. Here, this is just a die from my stash, just a basic scallop shape, and I have a whole lot of scallop circles. And then I cut another circle and I put the little ship along with this paper. Well, you guys saw this when we were doing the matting. This side loading pocket here has 2 little interactive booklets, and also these are 2 booklets too, slimline booklets. This little set, well, the Sea Life, this is a new one for me, the Memory Box Coral and Kelp Ribbon. In my mind, because my daughter swims like a fish and, you know, a mermaid, I have a lot of this kind of stuff because I'm always like ready to go with her. Like, you know, if I do a mini album, I did one before. It was a Graphic 45. I like it. I don't love it. So I'm going to do another one again. You know, yeah, it happens. I could do this, but this is more like boating and sailing. Although it does have the USA colors, and she did swim for Team USA, so the red, white, and blue, it could work. So this now, in this side loading pocket, I have a 5x7 photo opportunity here. Open it out. Again, I could put 4 photographs, could do 1 big. Here, could journal. This now, that edge, that's the stub edge. Like a ticket stub. That's using the We Are Memory Keepers. So I used it a lot just to add texture to this because I think it goes with that whole nautical theme. I didn't want to just go rectangle. I mean, you could have obviously, but if you do have a stub punch, whether it's that crocodile corner chumper from We Are Memory Keepers, or you have like a little small EK Success one, they have that as well. You can use it. It can't cut chipboard though, or anything super thick. This is a little flip up. So here I have a photo opportunity for a 4x6. Here I was just playing with the paper. And here, you know, I just realized, I think I forgot to do one thing. Yeah, I still forgot to do this. I just realized it, like, wait a second, did I do that? No. Here now, I had fun making this little opportunity here. Here I used a 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 sheet of Michael's Recollections cardstock. Scored it down the middle at 4 1/4, folded it in half, and it's an interactive photo opportunity. So this would fit a 4x4 photograph, right? And then what I did was stick down this part so it flips up. And then I would put another photo in here. I used my EK Success punch. My teachers out there, I tell you, this one is a goodie. Especially for that type of stuff. Back to school projects, oh, definitely that punch is the gift that just keeps on giving. And then you fold it in half and you gently tuck it back in. So I had this gold strip before. Then I used a punch about an inch, maybe a 1 1/4, punched it, put just a strip of score tape right along here, left this open so then I can be able to do the interactive piece there. And then I just put another little strip. That's the one thing about this whole thing. Keep all your scraps. Use just a little strip. It's like a 1/2 inch strip. And then I stuck this little piece on top of it, which came out of this set. This is the next set coming up. This is a Whimsy Stamps Build a Ocean die set. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I used it here. I used it here. I have this here, come on. Loving this set. And I use a lot of what is in here actually. The seahorse too. Messed up on that one, so I use a little small one, but you'll see it. I will refer back to this. This is a nice comprehensive underwater set. Like if you wanted to buy one, this is cute. You know why I got this? For the tall. When I have this whole thing in my mind of doing mermaid cards and all this stuff. I like the height of this. But if I had to choose, I would have gone here. If I had to only pick one, this would be the one I would pick by far. I mean, look at all that you're getting. It's like everything is represented here for all your ocean, beachy, Key West looking type stuff. So I fold out. Here we go again. That is this. Cute. Isn't it cute in the gold, in that gold from the Tim Holtz paper that I showed you? And this is something else. I have a few sets, but that one is something else. This is another one. I'm not sure. They may still have this one. This one is called Coral Fancy by Hero Arts. Not new. So I'll look. If I find it, I will link it below, but it's called Coral Fancy. I bought this a while back. That gives me this tall look, tall kelp, coral kelp thing. This is that. Love. And so I did a little square here. This square is 4 1/4. I guess it's 4 1/4 square. No, 4 1/4 by 4. So the matting on the inside would be 3 3/4 by 4 inches for inside here. Again, just to keep that look going, I used my corner chomper on the stub side. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Here, I just took a piece of, I actually could have double mat this, but I didn't, but I could. I just didn't want to add too much bulk, but I use a piece here. This piece measures 4 1/2 by 6 1/4. So, and I strategically put it that when this is closed, you don't see it until you open it up. Now this oval, this is a new die for me that I had got the other day from Pink Fresh Studio. This is new in the Pink Fresh Studio Essentials release. It's 2 dies doing the outside and inside with this detail, which I adore. It comes with a magnet inside here. So they sent it as a folder and put the magnet on the inside. Let me show you. There's the magnet. So your die stays in place. So it's only 2 pieces, but I just love this detail. Now, when you cut this, because there's not a cut line out here, you could leave a sheet of paper, cut into it, and then you'd get a frame with the outer piece. And then when you cut it, you get the inner piece. This is the inner piece. That's that die, which is a nice oval. And I have a lot of oval dies that I'm sure I could match back to stick a photograph in here. But I love the little textured edge. Kind of reminds me of my favorite slimline, the blanket slimline with the little marks. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Alrighty, so fold that over. So that's the end of page 1 assembly. Now let's get over to the page 2 assembly. Side loading pocket here. Love the, there are times when I'll do it separate, like, this one sheet of paper, that another. And then there's times when just having it all the same is just happy. This is one of those times. I just love the whole look of the sailboats. Here is another one of the tag, a smaller tag. Gonna tuck it in here out of the Kraft cardstock. Here now, this is the inside of the outer die and then the outside of this one. Let me show you what I mean. I had to put the die on the red cardstock, put a piece of purple tape like so, and run it. When I ran it through, I got that shape. So I hope I'm making sense. You have to run them both together to get the oval, or you could drop one afterwards, but I kind of like running it at the same time to line it up properly. It's going to be harder if I ran it once and then have to fit this on to do it. It's easier to line it up from here, visually look to see if it line up. Ran it, and then I got this red frame, and then the inside part I ran again and got the white part. That's what that is. So this is one of those dies you just have to kind of think for a second and then be like, oh, okay. Like that photograph. Cute. It's super cute. It's called the, blanket stitched oval. Maybe that's why I got it, because it was like the blanket slimline, right? Blanket stitched. I love it. Just love it, love it, love it. Not a bad price point either. For what it is, not a bad price point. It's only, yeah, well, I guess it's not a bad price point because it's 2 dies. So here, that's the Whimsy stamps. That's the big coral piece as a centerpiece here. Look at that. Isn't that just love? Did I put anything else? No, it didn't need anything else. Here on a striped piece of paper, and this one flips up on a note card. Again, 2 photo opportunities. I could put a photograph here and then put a white piece of cardstock in here and then have a journaling, you know, personal message for your dad or here. This would be 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 for the matting, but it measures, I believe this is 11 inches. 11 inches by 4 1/2. And then, so what I did was take a regular size sheet of paper, cut it at 4 1/2, and then fold it in half at the 5 1/2 inch. That's how I got this size, the 11 by 4 1/2. Super cute, right? You could put photograph here and then put the message up here, etc. Super duper cute. Flip that over, that page assembly, and now we come here. This is the back of page 2. And the one mistake I made when I had matte this, as you can see, stub punch again. The one mistake I made, I should have pushed this just a little hair over there so that, see how when it closes you can see it? That bothers me. World without end, that bothers me. But, you know, yeah, it bothers me. But if it, you know, I would just go over. I like to have it as a hidden opportunity. Open it up and then, oh, what's that? But you don't see it from the outside. You see this, but you don't see this. So just a hair over, I should have gone. So now this is for a 4 by 6 photograph. So then the outer mat would be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And then in here, that would be 4 by 6. Pretty sure. Yeah, 4 by 6. And I stamped it with my stamp, which I didn't bring, but I did list how to get the place photo here stamp. It's a little rubber stamp. Fabulous. Had it for a million years. Still working well because it's rubber stamp. Here, this is another one of the circle. The inner one again, the blanket stitched oval. That's actually the piece from in here. When I had cut these 2 together, I just brought it over here. Why waste it? It's pretty good. It's an oval, and I use it as a label. In this case, I'm using it. The other side, I'm using it here. I'm using it as a frame. And in here, I'm using this as a label. And then this Take Me to the Ocean. That's a die. Impression Obsession, Take Me to the Ocean. This is still available, so I will link that below. Super duper duper cute. This is still coming back to Whimsy Stamps. This actually, funny enough, I had taken the Tim Holtz, a sheet of the Tim Holtz, and I normally don't do this because you guys know I tell you I cut out what I need, but I took the whole sheet of Tim Holtz, took my Sizzix adhesive sheets like this, stuck it to the back. Why don't I just show? So I took out, so normally I would cut out what I'm using. In this instance, because I was cutting most of my embellishments in gold, I tore out one whole sheet. Then I peeled this off, stuck it to the back, cut another piece in half or a little strip, and I matted the whole thing in adhesive sheet. And then I ran all my dies. It was easier that way because I knew I was going to be using a lot. So normally I don't do that. Normally I cut as I go, but as you can see, I kept this whole die together. I didn't want to break it apart. Sometimes, most of the time I do actually, but in this instance, I'm not using this die that often. And it's a great die with a lot of pieces that I don't want to lose. And it was solid enough to keep as one whole piece. So this just ran through almost like a 6x6 square with the gold sheet, but love it so much. This gives you like, these 1, 2, 3, 4 are embossed. Everything else cuts into the die. Super duper 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 cute. Cute, cute, cute. Like I'm saying, really and truly, I would, I'd get this. And well, I love this slim line. That goes without saying. I do love the hem stitch. I do love this. Everything else can be like, oh, well, okay, this too. Okay, okay. There's about 4 of them that I really like a lot. And then here now with the bubbles. The bubbles, that's from another die set. Oh, I didn't bring it with me. This may be, if I don't show you, some things may no longer be available, okay? And this is just a banner die from my stash. I have a lot of banner dies. So I just put that here, cut the lobster with a fishtail 2-ended banner, and then put the little bubbles. That's supposed to be bubbles with the lobster. Over here, this is and this one may not be available, but then again, this one is by Kraft and is called Underwater Scene. I've had this one for a number of years as well. Because my daughter has been swimming competitively since she was 8, and she's now, 20. So I have my little things for underwater. She swims open water in the ocean, and she also swims in the pool. So that's why I'll have some pool stuff, and then I'll have, bathing suit dyes and that type of stuff, flip-flops. But then for this is for when she's out there in the water swimming. And knock on wood, nothing has happened to her. She hasn't seen anything scary out there. Thank goodness. But she can do a mile and all the way up to a 5K, which I believe is 3.3 miles. Yeah. Her coach is thinking maybe, well, with the pandemic, that slowed down that whole thing about her swimming a 10K, even longer. But she likes it. She likes that open water swimming. She's not afraid of the ocean at all. I don't know where she gets it from. I don't swim like that. So this is this die. The sand dollar, that's here again. I tell you, this one, if I had to pick any one of these Sea Life, it would be this one. It would be the Whimsy. And this is new, relatively new. Like maybe a month or 2 ago it came out. So that one you can definitely find. Here I made another little booklet. Cute, right? So what I did in this case, I was having fun. And then I had to stop because I would just keep on going, and then sometimes I didn't want to overwork the album. 5 1/4 by, I believe, 8 1/2. Yes, I just took a letter size 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of paper, cut it 5 1/4, score down the middle at 4 1/4 inch, fold that in half, and then took my chomper, because this is a heavy duty chomper, and just stuck, chomp, because it can chomp, and it's better to cut like this and this folded, not one and the other. Sometimes when you use these corner chomper things, they don't line up exactly well, so it suits you to cut that. If that corner gets messed up, it's on both sides one time, or you're gonna have to keep shrinking it down to get it square again. But I just kept on going in. So this is 1, 2, 3 layers, and then I added a little piece here from my stash, and open it up. Photo opportunity, photo opportunity. You can either go, you can round. I could round the edge of a photograph to put in here. I could also continue the same stub. So this can come into play to put a photograph or that. And there I go. I took it in, still enjoying the paper. So I didn't make it too big. Sometimes when you make these things too big, you end up losing what's here. I like to see this. That's just me. And I still get the impact because it's a little booklet. Flip over page 3 assembly. Here we have that pocket. And this I need to still fix, which I didn't. I don't know what I did, everything else but that. So I'll get to it one day. Here is the tags, 2 tags, and I believe this is not the largest one. This is like the second to the largest. That can fit a photograph straight on, 4x6. That's just a strip I was using, and so I could put another photograph in here if I want, and just to give the texture of the wood. Here, I was just playing with the smaller tag. Love the whales. this side, page 4. This one, the flap flips out. You see what I did here? That is a new die. I showed you this in a recent haul. I'm pretty sure I did. Rings around the circle. Love. This is from Spellbinders. It's just, I love essential dies like this. Not too ornate, but different. This one is different because of the rings. And this was plain from before, if you remember. And now I'm using this circle as a label. So I believe I cut this one, the second one in, got that. Then I took out one of my circle dies. It's a plain circle, dropped it here. You could use a stitched circle, put it in there. Then again, revisiting what was on the front. To get these hearts, I had to cut it again. So I cut the anchor, the La La Land anchor in gold, and I also cut it in red. Why waste the red? I put it back here. It goes with the lobster. And I turned this, I went half off. So it's half on, half off to look like it's like a little label flap. Here, that's my little seahorse. From here, that little one there, super cute. I like how they give two too. So if that one doesn't work, you have a little itty bitty one. Too cute. Pull this out. This now is another photo opportunity booklet. This one, big enough for a 5x7. This one is from the Kraft with the turtle and that, you know, this whole set. This I thought would have been it because as you can see, I had cut it in blue glitter because everything glistens in the ocean. Yeah, but glitter wouldn't work with this album, so I had cut the cardstock, but I didn't like how it looked, so I put this little gold strip on top of it at an angle. This is actually another Whimsy Stamps label set. This is a new one too that I had just picked up the other day. I like this little edge with the stitching. I think it's cute. So if I was using it for a card, I would stamp in front of it, But here I'm just using it as an accent. And then there's a little seahorse. Cute. So then seahorse. Yes. I think about things like this, I know. That's why it takes me so long to dress up an album. Which is still matting, but it's matting with decorative matting, I should say. Now, you could leave it the way that we left it from the other day. When we inserted the pages, it can definitely stay like that. There's no reason to. But if you do have some dies or you want to pull out your electronic die cut machine and cut some little accents, go ahead. If you are going to, let's say you're going to use your electronic die cut machine, your dad loves fishing. You want to put a pole and a fish. Try not to make it the fish this big and the pole that big. Bring the size down as if you were using a metal die. It'll look nicer in an album this size. You come with a big fish here, it just takes up the whole thing. Unless you're making some interactive piece with a 5x7 photograph, I wouldn't go so big in terms of the sizing, because I know, I do it all the time. With an electronic die cut machine, it's 12x12, everything, I'm all of a sudden printing everything big. I'm cutting everything big. I end up doing an image, and instead of having this little anchor, my anchor comes out to about, 6x6. I'll go that big too. I do the same thing, but scale it down, or cut 3 sizes. Put the anchor, 4x5. Come again, let me go 3x2. Oh, you know what? Let me go 1x2.5. Cut them all out and then see which one works. You're going to find with this album, I think the smaller scale, more like our metal dies, work better. All right, so that's that of the front of the page 4 assembly. Now we're on the back of the page 4 assembly. Here we have the photo opportunity. I should have actually used the stub here, but I think I had mapped this with you guys and I didn't pull out my corner chomper yet. Flip this flap over, but guess what I did pull out here? Hem slimline. Here. I still had to I used this biggest one here, which is, let me tell you how wide this die is. 3.5 inches wide. 3.5 inches wide. I had to put purple tape on these two parts. And I ran it through the die cut machine. You have to run this one twice just to have everything pop out. Maybe once with your Gemini, but I ran it twice with my Big Shot. And then I popped all this out. Then I just cut the die, and then I have, so this piece measures, let me give you a rough measurement. Let's say 4 1/8 by the 3 1/2. Reason why this is the way it is. This was here first, and I was gonna leave it. And then I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a photo mat? So then I took out the die because I kind of like this. The hem stitch, I think, is giving a nautical feel to it. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think it kind of goes with it. And this was already there, so I didn't need to go all the way out. I'm still enjoying the paper, getting the feel here of the sea life, and then I can put a photograph in here. And remember, when you're matting for photograph, just go a 1/4 inch smaller on each side. I'm looking at where did I get it from. Again, this is that. Tell you, this one was for the card. This one, I used pretty much everything here. The only thing I didn't think I used was this and this. Everything else I used. Love, 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 love. But doesn't that look good? Love this hem stitch slimline. Okay, now I'm going to fold this other flap over. You could put a photo opportunity, but I love the whale. I love the blue and the whale. I'm so feeling it. Here now, this is for a 5 by 7 photograph. This one, I went with a 1/2 inch border. That's why, because I wanted to enjoy the red. I didn't want to have a thin red. I wanted to have a thicker red. And I went wider here too because I wanted to be able to see the seahorse. I didn't want to cut it off with a 1/4 inch, which would be 1/8 inch around. So this is 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Then in here, this is, I think this is 4 by 6. Yeah, 4 by 6. So this is a 4 by 6 photo on something that would have been like a 5 by 7 area. Let me tell you what the biggest one is, just so you know. 7 1/4 by 5 1/4. So you would cut 7 1/4 by 5 1/4 inch for the frame to put in a 5 by 7 photograph. So then I just went 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch here, and then 4 by 6 here, just to have this big frame. You could put photos here, more than welcome to. So cute. And then more tags. Here I did pull out favorite punch again, the notebook, the round notebook. Don't get the square. It's not as cute. The round is nicer. It just looks like the old inkjet printer style when we used to tear it off the printer way back. Oh yes, I'm telling you how old I am. And you would see it has that look instead of it being a notebook. That's why I think the round one is nice. That's why I linked it. So you guys can, there is 2 types of notebook with this punch. There's a square one that gives you that old time, not so cute. And then this one. This one is more next year from now, 5 years from now, it'll still be a nice accent. The other one looks just a little bit more dated. Here is the lobster. That, again, last bit from the Whimsy Stamps. I tell you, this one. Love this so much. This and this. This is what, just love this. I think it's just a really good die set. I love comprehensive die sets without a bad price point. That's that die set. So here's 2 more tags. Tuck it all the way in. And then here now, this is I'll show you the die, but it's not an easy die to get. Laura by Laura. I think I got this. Oh, I got this at Frank Garcia Studio. This is a this is a die set out of Spain. I know. Did she say Spain? Yes, I did. And you can only find her dies 2 places so far that I know of. Frank Garcia. You can get some of her stuff, but a lot of people buy them out like quick. And he has a store so people can go in person, see it, and be like, yes. I loved it because it had this that looked like it was blowing in the water. That's why I really got it. Not for this, for this. So the other place, Etsy, cha-ching. Yeah. But I did want to show it to you just in case you're like, what is that? And I think I love this. That's what that is. And all her dies come pink. And it wasn't a bad price point, $5.99. But I did buy this from Frank Garcia all the way out in California. Yeah, and he charges premium shipping. Painful, painful. So that's it for the Father's Day mini album final review. So there it is for the final review. I thoroughly enjoyed making this album at the last minute. I'm sorry, guys, but you know, my best friend's mom passed, and that just threw me off schedule. I was gonna do it last week, but it just wasn't happening. And but I am glad that I finished it in time. Glad that I was able to go in detail of how I did this cover compared to the Mother's Day mini album. This is a great album. Like I said, it is exactly like the Mother's Day. Pages are just attached differently. And this one is decorated more. I don't know, I just wanted to show you some of my process of how I would go further with it. And this is a great time for you to pull out all your dies. If you don't have this kind of die, and I think the reason why I ended up doing that is because I really didn't have any kind of cut aparts or ephemera like the last album. The one for Mother's Day, at least I had something in cut apart. This time I had to create it. And because I created some of these accents, it kind of spurred something to get even more creative. And then I took off. I started pulling out what I have. And that's the same thing I want to tell you. Pull out what you have. So if you have a slimline die, yes, you can use it. Don't have a slimline die? Just cut a rectangle and just, you know, make a little booklet. It can't be the 8.5 inch because it's too tall, but do a 8.5 inch, take 8.5 inch wide, 8.5 inch tall, score down the middle. That would give you 4 1/4 by 8.5 inch. Trim that a little bit, trim it down to about, yeah, or 7 1/4. Let's say 7 1/4 inches. Trim it down to 7 1/4 inches. That's the width. And then just make a little booklet. These booklets are fun too. Then just pull out some of your basic dies or use your electronic die cut machine. You use your electronic die cut machine, know you're going to be there cutting for the whole day. Maybe that's why I don't like my electronic die cut machine. I love my machine. I don't love using it because when I use it, it's like 6 hours later and I'm still here cutting. I don't know why. Once I start cutting a bunch of stuff. I can't just cut one thing and move on. It's like, oh, well, I'm here now, I might as well. Or if you have a Cricut Joy, I'm sure you can cut a bunch of little things too. That would give you a smaller footprint. Love, 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 love. But if you have a bunch of your dies, pull them all out. Ovals, any shape just to give that contrast. It's all contrasting. I just pulled out my little punch here, work that. Little, you know, oval here. It's just basic shapes. And I had fun with this one. Alrighty, crafters. So if you are in love with the hem stitch slimline, I personally love it, as you can see, for slimline cards, as well as using in your mini album, or you like this ring around the circle, or you like this one, the blanket stitched oval. All three of these are available on scrapbook.com. And I released a video earlier where I showed you guys that they had a today's special storage envelope solution thing. That's cool. Great price. Check it out. And also, I will link the video at the end of this, just seeing that I'm talking about it now. And their double-sided adhesive is back in stock. You can use that for matching your albums. Great price. 6 rolls for $11.99. So that's like $2 a roll. And, you know, if you don't like the cherry tape, you can definitely use the scrapbook.com. And a bunch of their adhesives, their scrapbook.com brand adhesives, are on sale as well. I still like my score tape, though, for making the album, but... oh, what am I talking about? Scrapbook.com. I forgot. Hello. The tag set. Essential tag set. Yeah. That is a must. And it probably is on sale because I noticed that a lot of their scrapbook.com brand items, slimline, This is probably going to be on sale too. This would probably be a good time to think about it. Their freebie is Simple Stories paper pack, 6x8. So if you want, get this, add the paper pack, done. Or if you want to get any of these little beauties, done. Love, 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 love. This one is a little pricey though. I'm not going to lie. This one here, yeah. This one is cha-ching. But that photograph got me, that bird with the glimmer. Yeah, I know. That got me. But everything else here, though, is pretty reasonable, all right? Okay, crafters, so on to the next video. Stay crafty, my friends. Bye.